Morning, good morning, good morning. This is the breakdown, episode 98, sponsored by. Why is it like that? Hold on. That's not cool. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Sponsored by Unstoppable Domains, also sponsored by Expector, powered by Gokhshtein Media. My name is Oh, that's cool. I got a notification. My name is David Gokhshtein. I'm joined alongside Akil Patterson. Wow. What a What a shit show it was yesterday. I'll have my comments on that as we move forward today in regards to Sam's interview with the New York Times, which I thoroughly enjoyed sitting back on and watching. So thank you all for joining. Let me just put up the link for the YouTube for those who would want to go ahead and see this beautiful face instead of hearing the beautiful golden voice. You can definitely go ahead and join us on YouTube, my fair, my fair people. Uh, I don't even hear you, bro. I think you got your mic muted.
You're right. It wasn't. It
Uh,
was
there we go.
my bad.
I think that was a sign from God. Just he wanted you to stay muted.
Sometimes you don't have to talk very loud when you're right.
Right about what? What were you right about?
Nothing.
What were you right about?
Nothing.
No, seriously. What are you? You're sitting here like you're saying you're right about. What are you right about?
Elon Musk.
What are you right about, Elon Musk?
He's just a liar. He's just a fucking liar.
Anyway, we will get into. I guess we will get into that. I am no longer screaming with you. You obviously just hate the man. So
I
there's
didn't even
nothing
have
that
to
anybody can do.
scream. He's just not. No, you just don't trust him.
I trust him.
How do you,
I trust that man. That man is bringing freedom of speech back.
really?
Tim Cook knew not to invite. Tim Cook knew not to mess with him. That's why he invited him down to the
All right.
campus.
Okay.
That's what kind of power move he made. He
Whatever.
made him invite him down
Sure.
because he knew what reckoning Elon Musk would bring on him.
Yeah. Right.
But that's for later.
I want him to release the Twitter papers. Release the Twitter papers then,
He
because
will, but
otherwise
that's
you
not going
just
to be good for. That's not
no,
going to be good for the
legitimate. At that
Democrats.
point, no. At this point, all you're doing is blackmailing people now. I'll release the Twitter papers. Just release it. Just go
Yeah,
ahead.
but like he
So now
probably
he's
will.
withholding information just like Twitter did because it's in his best interest. So, okay, cool.
So why weren't you complaining about it when Twitter was holding things
All
back?
I said was you don't get the bitch both ways.
But no, but like I'm just saying, like
I don't believe all
nobody.
information is for all people. That's why, David. I told you that. I don't think everything's for all people.
I'm just saying, like there was a party that wasn't up in arms when that was happening.
Once again, David, I don't believe all things for all people.
Okay. I don't
I just
believe
don't.
any. I don't believe any politicians.
And you know what? That's okay. But you know what? You can't trust Elon Musk. He is not
Why
the
not?
savior because he is a legit liar. You can't keep lying to people and
Can you show
expect
me
them.
where he lied?
I did show you where he lied twice.
Where? We haven't even talked. Where?
I told you last time. I said, David, the first time he was lying was about this whole uh, population thing. Kept going on
He's
and on
lying.
about it,
The
and then you were
population
like,
has
"Oh,
the
David,
population has decreased.
no, it
What was he
hasn't.
lying about? It has.
No, it hasn't, David.
Yeah, he's going by data that it's
No,
not
no, no,
growing
David,
as rapidly as before.
David, that is a lie.
It's not a
That is
lie.
a lie. We went from 7 billion people to now 8 billion people.
Yeah, but
He
it should have been
lied.
larger than that. That's what he
No.
was trying.
No,
Yeah,
he's
that's
not.
what he was
No,
trying.
David,
That's
you
what he was
should
trying to
not
tell
have
you.
more people on this earth than the earth can handle. And
No,
he just see, this is the problem. He keeps lying to you and you're
he didn't lie
buying
or
it
nothing.
and you're making excuses for him.
I just want to
My
talk
biggest
about
thing is don't make
SBF,
excuses.
and we could talk about Elon because I know like Elon it lives in your head rent free every single day. Like for me personally, that man's a savior. That man should be put right up there with with everybody. With legend, they should make a statue of Elon Musk. Well, they already did, but I'm saying they should really. You know what? They should go as far as to make a monument for the man in Washington D.C. The Elon Musk Library or the Elon Musk, like just like Lincoln. That's that's where we should be. We should put him right up there with him. But speaking of speaking of Sam Bankman, Sam Bankman, I'm watching this entire interview and I'm watching the interview and I'm like, he has been Sam is so well coached. Like it's going over everybody's heads. Like I've been reading the reactions on social media and everything, and it's really going over a lot of people's heads. Like this man, Sam, is so well coached, and the coaching is coming from his parents. His parents are not only lawyers. If you've looked into their background, they are not only lawyers. He is well coached. And this whole thing about him doing interviews, like it's being done on purpose because nobody's going with a situation that happened with FTX. Nobody's going out and doing a press tour. Nobody. Nobody would go out there and start doing press tours about this type of collapse, which will probably be in the history books. Like this collapse will be mentioned in the history books. And yet Sam is out there talking without any attorneys representing him. What I'm stating right now is not conspiracy theories. This is legitimately well planned out. This is well planned out. This is where you feel sorry for Sam because you see him right now sitting, first interview, which I thought was, you know what? The questions were asked, but I think they were lacking. Like I really do believe that the questions were lacking with follow-ups. There weren't really much follow-ups to the question. I think they really took it easy on him. Uh, People were telling me that it might have been because of the platform that they were on yesterday. No, when you have the first interview with Sam, when you have literally the first interview since everything went down with Sam, and you don't really ask the questions and follow-ups. Really, again, the New York Times fell short. They fell short, and you start to understand that like you sit back and just think about it rationally, take away any take away all the bias that you might have, and you can see that it's been set up very well. Like it's been set up well by him and his entire team. Like the way he avoided questions, the way he couldn't tell you when Andrew asked, "Hey, well, are you lying?" and he had to think about that. Like when he are you lying to us, Sam, right now? And he had to think about he had to think about that. That that should tell you everything. Okay, and now he's gonna go on this press tour. He's gonna be speaking with every podcast possible. And somehow you're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel guilt for this man. You are. It's just, you're going to watch him like yesterday. I'm sure there was moments when you were watching him and just for a split second you felt guilty, or you felt some sort of guilt, or you felt bad for him. Let's put it that way. You just felt, you felt bad for him. And it's crazy, but it is what it is. And you still have Kevin O'Leary. It's funny, a lot of big time players, a lot of big time players came out defending him. Kevin O'Leary came out. Another guy named Bill Ackerman came out defending him as well. You also had BlackRock. BlackRock, the CEO of BlackRock came out also basically defending the situation. And you know how I feel about BlackRock. So all of this, when you sit down, and I'm sure we'll continue to break this down. When you sit down and you think about all this, Sam is just, Sam was the pawn. For me personally, Sam was the pawn used by the people that were really behind this. Who were the real people behind this? We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out as the months go on. But Sam, it is impossible for Sam to do this. Impossible. Even with the acting that went on yesterday, it was just impossible for him to do this. There are bigger people in behind the scenes, not in front, but behind the scenes, that were pulling all his strings. Sam will not get arrested. Sam, if the harshest thing that will happen to Sam is that he will be put on probation. That is it. I don't see nothing else happening to Sam. I don't
Probation
see
for
nothing
what?
happening. I don't know. They'll make up something where he gets probation for something, but he will not be. He will not be going to jail. He will not be imprisoned. And within 2 to 3, 4 years, he will have another company within the crypto space that launches. And you know what? The same VCs that backed him will back him again, because they're going to give him a second chance and another opportunity to make back their money. Because when you guys scratch your heads and say, "What are you talking about, David? Why would VCs invest in him?" Well, you know what? When BlackRock says that they went ahead and lost $24 million, you can guarantee if Sam opens up another company, they're going to invest to recoup their 24 and to make an additional 24 on top of that. It's business. The reason why these people are super successful is because they're not attached. They're not emotional. They will make back that money, and they will find a way to make back that money. And who knows? Honestly, when they say $24 million was lost by BlackRock due to their investment in FTX, was it really $24 million that was lost? Because during while FTX was up and running, they could have been making money. They could have been making money. They might have made $50 million and might be just claiming a $24 million loss. We don't know. We don't know. Way too early to know who actually made money. Just like Sam yesterday sitting in that chair. He doesn't know where money is. He doesn't know how much money he has in his bank account. I think every single human being would know how much money they have in their bank account, at least a roundabout figure. Sam doesn't have just $100 million. I mean, excuse me, $100,000. The man has properties, he has assets, and I'm sure he has assets in other people's names.
So David, I think one of the things people have to be very cognizant of is your lack of responses are responses, number one. So when we're listening to these interviews, everyone thinks, like when you're like, there's no hard hitting questions. I was like, well, how hard hitting are you looking to get, David? Are you looking to get the gotcha moments, or the hey, he's not going to answer questions that are going to get him into legal trouble?
No, I'm not looking for gotcha moments. I'm looking for actual questions with follow-ups. Because like if you say something and first of all, he's putting himself out there to answer, right? He's gone on and agreed to go ahead and sit down and talk about the situation with FTX. Yesterday, all he was doing when the questions were posed, he was taking the same sentence that it was given out to, let's say, a Vox journalist, and he was just saying it differently.
Well,
Word salad.
that is the spin. That is a very that is getting your talking points. And, strategically as a PR crisis manager, you'd do that. You'd say, hey, listen, these are your talking points. Whenever you can't answer a question, you go back to them. Like David, you do this to me all the time. Like you are able to spin the narrative back to the conversation that you want it to be. And that's what he does. And so and I think the problem is like people like me recognize that, and we recognize it as part of the game, right? We know because we're in it, we recognize it as part of the game. He's got to do his spin. It's up to us to then go, he's refusing to answer this question, this question, this question, this question. He doesn't want to go back to it. Like when they were asking him, they said, how much money do you have? And he's like, oh, about $100,000 cash. Like that to me is a much bigger answer because remember, David, I keep saying words matter. So if he says $100,000 cash, I'm like, bro, you're not equating for your property. You're not equating for all the ancillary things that like there's diamonds, gold, jewels, whatever it is. You're not talking about that. You're just like, oh, I got like $100,000 cash and maybe like one or two credit cards. Hold on, but that's it. That's what you have on you. You didn't talk about. You didn't tell us how much Bitcoin you have. You didn't tell us about, if you've got gold or diamond stashed away. You only answered the I have cash and I have like one or two credit cards. That's it. There's other things that you can have that are assets that are of value. Like, when people talk about the $112 million, people thought, what about this $112 million property his parents bought? No, there's $112 million spent on 19 different properties. Again, people got to read a little bit deeper than page one. Like there is a lot more to this. And I think that's what we all have to recognize is that if you keep thinking this is the answer, we got you. It's like, no, he's not going to answer those questions. And so what he doesn't say is a response that all of us need to be listening to. Because in there, because like I've always said, David, somewhere in the middle lies the truth. The truth is in there. You just have to be able to didactic and pull it out. Same way when I keep saying like there are things that I'm seeing in other people that make me go, I don't believe you now because you said this. You're very clear on this. You said it 3 or 4 times. You're not speaking about these other things. That leads me to believe that there's something nefarious or something at foot going on that we need to solve.
Number one, that the little shot that Akil took about spin. I just like to go ahead and when I ask a question, I have to reel you back in because you like to go in circles to get away from the question and then to force feed us your answer, which literally does not answer the question that was posed. So like Elon, when you go ahead and say that Elon's a liar, I'm like, show me proof. And then it goes into circles and circles and circles. And then you call me the master of spin. Meanwhile, I'm just waiting for an answer. But as for Sam, okay, as for Sam, Sam's sitting there and
The master spin.
for, I like when he said the part about so let's break the whole thing down.
Yeah, let's
When
do
he
that.
says he says the medication, right? He was asked about drug use, and he says that I have never. He took a sip. I took a sip of alcohol on his 21st. I think it was on his 21st birthday. He said
That was his first
21st.
drink was on his 21st birthday
Yeah,
to make him seem like he's a
and
golden child.
and then he said like he doesn't really take anything that's not prescribed to him.
Yep.
So
illegal drugs.
keynote was, I don't take anything that is not prescribed to me. So there's the out. So you
Yep.
can go ahead and take photographs of his pills that were in his car, but he also made mention that everything's labeled, prescribed. So if he is prescribed, whatever it is, so he can focus, which I'm sure he was implying that he might have ADD, whatever it is, it allows him to focus better, which he also made a joke that, you know, um, well, he wasn't that focused, obviously, to have this kind of situation happen. As a CEO of the company, he admits that he's failed and he's kept on repeating himself that, hey, it's on me. All I care about is getting the customers right, getting the customers right, getting the customers right. So the campaign yesterday, a lot of it was, I'm reaching out to the entire crypto community because I want to get you guys right. And it kept going throughout the interview. As I'm listening, as I'm working out, I'm listening to him just say, I'm going to make it right for the community. I'm going to make it right for the community. This is a perfect campaign for Sam. I'm going to get it right for the community. Focus on the crypto community and try to win them back over. That's exactly what he was saying. Also saying that I don't know why FTX USA, FTX Japan, FTX Australia started naming out, the subsidies. Why they are not releasing money is unbeknownst to him. He does not understand why they have stopped withdrawals when those platforms have the money to go ahead and give back to their users. It's FTX International is the problem, not FTX.us. So
But
that
is he who's in control of the FTX International?
well, Ray now is in control of it.
No, Ray's got FTX.us, not international.
I
So I'm
think he
just
has
wondering.
that also.
No. That's
Sam's
what the
not in control. Hold on. Sam's
that's what the
not
Bohemian
definitely not in
government.
control of that. Hold on, I'll tell you right
Yeah,
now. No, the
that's
Bohemian
what I'm saying.
government is not in control of FTX.
Yeah, I don't know who the FTX International went to. Uh, uh, okay, John. No,
I just said
that's
I just
Ray.
said that. John Ray is the CEO.
This doesn't make sense.
So John Ray is the CEO, says that doesn't
Yeah.
know or understand why why money is not being released. Understands the FTX side, doesn't understand the rest. Doesn't understand the rest. So what he did essentially was, I'm going to push blame. I'm going to push blame onto the current administration or the current staff that is running FTX. So if you notice, he's telling you, look, guys, I want to help you. I'm trying. Don't know why you're not getting your money back over here. I'm focused on here. I'm telling you, this gentleman, he's not stupid, but he is willing to go down for everybody else. As I'm watching this, he's willing to go down for whoever it is in the background. He's willing to go down for his parents. He's willing to go down for any politician. I'm telling you, this is so much deeper than people actually realize. Every single time I hear him talk, I realize more and more. No, I'm going to tell you the G Media account. He's not stupid. He's not stupid at all. He's smart. He is smart because he's been well coached. He is super well coached. He's not smart to go along with this. I can agree with that, but he is smart. He is smart. They're not
I,
going to
I
extradite him to the United States of America. The Bahamas got him,
yeah.
and the Bohemian people are not going to do anything to him.
Well, they just made $800 million. So what do they care?
I don't understand why no guys, like nothing's going to happen to Sam. Nothing. Nothing is going to happen to Sam. Nothing's going to happen to Queen Caroline cuz she is, I don't know. She is somewhere in where? Hong Kong or in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
It's either or cuz there's always conflicting reports, but it's either those two regions, countries where she's chilling.
Oh, you know.
And then the other guy who was the co-CEO,
Oh,
he left early. He
yo, that
booked
dude's
early.
been he's been
He was
MIA.
out. He left.
Yeah.
He
He is
left. He was
he
like,
nobody knows where that dude is.
here's the crazy part. I really do believe that Sam will come to the United States of America and he will go and testify in front of Congress. I believe that.
Okay.
Here's the problem. There is no attorney in the world that would let their client go on to mainstream media or any type of media and talk the way he's talking. There
Are
is
you
no
sure?
attorney. There are no attorneys that would allow their client to incriminate themselves the way that Sam is doing.
So David,
Uh,
I'm gonna say that's not true.
unless you're getting an attorney for free, unless you're
So
getting a
no,
public attorney. It's
no,
not
David.
Akil, like
No,
you just
that's
want to.
not.
You just want to. If you just want to disagree with me, that's fine. But
No,
the
no, no.
truth
I'm
is,
just saying that's
Johnny
not. It's
Cochran,
not
if God bless
true.
his soul, would not let O.J. Simpson talk like this
But
outside.
again, OJ was being accused of murder. These are white collar crimes. So we
Bernie
all know
Sanders did not talk to anybody.
who? You mean Bernie
Bernie
Madoff? Did you just
Madoff, excuse
yeah, he
me,
sounds like you mean Sanders? I mean you mean Madoff.
Bernie
Okay.
Madoff did not go
But
out
these
and talk
but
to
these
the
are
public.
white these are so this is a white collar crime in which he does not necessarily so his attorneys are probably Bohemian attorneys, right? And they're probably like, say whatever you want because you're not going back.
No, that come on, Akil, that doesn't make sense. Like no attorney
Okay,
is
David,
going
that's
to
fine. If you believe
no
that, that's
what
fine.
attorney no like let's be like let's not go
If
back and forth.
I just
You
said,
can
like,
agree with
I'm just
you can
saying
agree with me once.
there's attorneys out there who would say, "This is the plan because you have no other plan." There are
So,
attorneys that
so
they
hold
look
on,
for nuclear options.
go out and speak and incriminate yourself.
So again, is he I believe he's incriminating himself. His attorneys might be saying, "These things don't matter." Remember, it's all about what they can prove, right? The burden lies on the courts. That's where the biggest burden is. Can the courts prove that you did this without a reasonable doubt? Remember, he
They're gonna replay these tapes if he were to
sure,
go to court. They're
sure.
gonna replay these tapes, and he's going to trip over himself.
Well, most likely he'll never go on that stand. They'll use those tapes to try to incriminate himself, and then they'll hire other witnesses to come in and say
He
otherwise.
doesn't even have to go on the stand.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I said. He'll never go on the stand and have to defend the tapes. They will use the tapes against him, and then they'll send somebody else up on the stand to give doubt. That's probably why Caroline and his buddy aren't anywhere to be found right now. Is because then you got to ask them, "Hey, were you in charge of Alameda?" No. And then you just say, "Well, what happened to all these things?" I don't know. I wasn't the CEO of Alameda. He'll continue that. Now you and I are thinking, come on, man, there's no way that you just sent $10 million to somebody and you didn't know. Like, I don't know where that there's like 40 people that work for you and $10 million got moved. If you don't know, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But it could be used as a defense. I'm not saying it's a good defense, but it could be used as a defense. The difference is again, can the state prove that he willfully, wrongfully knew about everything that they're charging him with? Burden of proof lies within the state. So that's why I said it. Some lawyers might say, what was her name? I can't remember. Well, Rudy Giuliani kept talking one time. It's like these like the RICO statute is gonna. I honestly heard somebody talk about this the other day, and I thought about it, and I said it's logical that they were like, well, could a RICO statute be used against him? And I was like, if there was money laundering, if they can discover there's money laundering and fraud, maybe a RICO statute case could be built against him. But otherwise, he's got a lot of carte blanche here. He's got a lot of freedom.
No attorney no attorney in their right minds would let their client speak out like this.
No good attorney would ever let this happen. But a shitty attorney,
they have money for a good attorney. No attorney will let this happen. This is deeper because this is a campaign now to make it look like I don't need attorneys to tell me to stop talking. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put out this narrative that I am trying to fix this entire situation. That I am the guy that you thought I was. I don't need an attorney or attorneys telling me what to say and what not to say. That's why when he said it with Andrew yesterday during that interview, where he said,
right back,
shouldn't
David.
you go ahead and be consulting with your attorneys? And he goes, probably. He's mapped this entire thing out. Completely mapped this entire thing out. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to go ahead and watch how this is playing out, because this is kind of like, you really gotta take the bias out of the situation. Like, this is a fucking puzzle. I don't even dislike Sam. I don't even dislike Sam because I know that it's not him. He was a part of it, but he's the fall guy. Like a fall guy you would have in a mob. Like, he's that guy. Like, I'm going to take the fall for the boss. Like, that's him. That's all I got out of the conversation yesterday. I'm going to defend all the VCs. I'm going to defend all the people that are pulling my strings. I am not going to let out anybody. Again, I'm going to mention this. His parents are not only attorneys. His parents are not only attorneys. And they know what they're doing. They've had this mapped out. This entire thing has been mapped out. There's always been a plan, a backup plan, and an emergency strategy to go ahead and use when and if FTX were ever to go ahead and get slammed like this. There's a comment here on YouTube stating that he wasn't the mastermind. He's not a fall guy. He's an idiot with bad morals. No, he's not Hodl the future. He's not he's not an idiot. He could be stupid for going along with this stuff, but he's definitely not an idiot. Because if he's an idiot, that makes all the people that invested money into him idiots. That would make Tom Brady an idiot. That would make Steph Curry an idiot. That would make Shaquille O'Neal an idiot. That would make Giselle an idiot. That would make Kevin O'Leary an idiot. Mike Novogratz an idiot. Anthony Scaramucci an idiot. The list goes on because every single person that invested into him, well, they're an idiot. So he's not an idiot. There was something that he did that enticed these people to get into FTX, especially get into FTX when, as I've stated multiple times, nobody knew about Sam. I never heard about Sam. Sam became this dominant figure within a year and a half. His rise was fast. And I've never seen somebody rise that fast without somebody pulling the strings in the back. For the most part, nobody knew who Bernie Madoff was until everything hit. Nobody knew who Bernie was. Nobody, except the 1% in Wall Street. That's it. At the end of the day, though, it is a sad situation. It's also I got to mention this. It's I'm watching this shit play out back and forth. Let me just say one thing. You know what? I'll announce it here because I don't hold back. I could have had the first interview with Sam. I actually have receipts to prove it. I have the receipts. The difference is I can't interview somebody if I don't know anything about the situation. Because it's not an interview, then it becomes a conversation that is useless and pointless. So when I do the interview with Sam, I will be asking questions and I will have a better understanding of what happened, at least in my mind. But to do just an interview, just to be first, that's not how I work. And on everything, I have the receipts to prove it. I could have done it. I could have gone ahead and put it out that I'm first. I had no honestly, I wasn't even thinking about that. To put out something like that and just to say I'm first. First to what? So when I see on Twitter right now, people are like, "Oh, but I'm not gonna go in that room now. I'm not going to speak." And Mario's milking this. Mario is milking this shit. Are you taking pictures?
No, that's why I was trying. That's how I had to go off the my lighting. One of my lighting apparatuses is like that I just bought is fucking on the fritz, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
So Mario, I don't know who Mario is. By the way, let me just say one thing. Let me touch on a lot of things because this all connects. This all connects. I have no clue who Mario is. I know that Mario and his team, air quotes, Mario and his team would send me links into my DMs to join the space. And I would join because I saw like some of the people that I actually liked would be joining the space. So that's what I was joining the space. I didn't know about the rest of the stuff that was going on. the bots and all this stuff. So that's why I slowly left. But I don't know who he is. But what I do, from what I've seen though, it's all about being sensational. Every single tweet is rumor has it, but can't confirm it. And you know what? It's causing, seriously, this is real. This is not even hate. This is no envy. Like I don't really care. But like it's causing the people that are just coming into the industry and that don't understand anything. It's causing them to panic. It's not actually it's not actually doing anything. It's just obviously he's getting engagement. God bless him if that's what he's looking for. But that won't last for more than 15 minutes.
I'm not gonna go there because unfortunately I
I
don't have.
will. I have no problem going there. I have absolutely no problem going there.
I don't think that it is of value for me to spend time on that, but I will say that I don't think that there's a lot there.
No, you don't
There
understand. So where I'm going with this. He continues to report about SBF and he's making it sound like he's giving SBF what he wants. That's the problem.
well, he's a shiller, is it?
I don't again, that's for everybody to figure out. I'm not going that route. All I'm saying is that if you're going to continue to come out with these theories and all this crap, like I've read into these and like every single time in the subtweet there's something that says, well, we just went ahead and ran it and like we don't know like you're what are you doing, man? Like if you have this hypothetically if you have this platform and you have this attention, do the right thing, man. I'm not here to bury anybody. I'm here to just say, yo, do the right thing, bro. The whole sensational is like to be sensational and shit like that. Like, stop. Stop, man. And I ain't gonna buy bots. I ain't gonna go fucking buy bots, 5,000 bots to go ahead and make it look like I have a fucking gigantic Twitter spaces. And continue to report about SBF, SBF, SBF. Oh my God, sources have it. He went and took a shit. Sources have it. SBF took a shit and he might have texted Caroline. Those are the type of stories that are coming out. And it does nothing. It does nothing. So, but it does connect with SBF because now so perception is everything. When you see somebody that has a 10,000 plus room with 7,000 bots, people automatically think there's something going on there. Automatically somebody's thinking there's something happening. Like everybody's coming. What is he gonna ask? What does he ask? What is he gonna talk about with SBF today? What is he gonna say to SBF?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna have the people that are on stage annihilate SBF? It is 10:32 a.m. on the east. It
7:32
is
a.m. on the West.
yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. It is the breakdown, episode 98, 2 away from 100. Expected the sponsor. Unstoppable Domains also. Powered by Gokhshtein Media. My name is David Gokhshtein alongside Akil Patterson. Thank you very much for joining in. If you haven't reshared this room, then you know what? Screw you. Yeah, you know what? Screw y'all, man. Get up so early in the morning to go ahead and entertain you guys. You can put your notifications on and follow the Gokhshtein Media account. Retweet the spaces, retweet the YouTube, and get people in here so we can have a discussion. How dare you? I'm kidding.
Hey,
I hate
David.
when people. I hate when people tell me to retweet something. I think Jess kind of said it best. Jess was like, "Yo, like motherfuckers make you go into a room, tell you to like, notify, follow, and do backflips." This shit is funny though. It's real talk. But like, yeah, listen, if you want to retweet this room, you can. Retweet this YouTube, you can. We appreciate all the support that people have given us. Remember, everything that I say, I will let you honestly know if I do hate somebody or not. Hate is a strong word. I will let you know if I dislike somebody or not. I don't dislike Mario. I think he can do better. That's what I think. I haven't gone into his past. I haven't looked and done an investigation because I don't have time for that. I'm way too focused on the current news and my brand and my company than to look into somebody and waste my time. But for this space, for the community, do better. Just do better. That is it. Do better. I will not be joining the space because I honestly, if it was somebody else that was interviewing it, and I'm not throwing shade at it, but I've already heard Elon Musk in there. You had the opportunity to go ahead and interview Elon Musk. It was a fanboy circle jerk conversation. They had CZ in there, and CZ, who is a patient man, CZ, who is one of the most patient men that I've ever heard speak on a space and on mainstream media. If you can make CZ leave your room and get frustrated and leave your room because you're just having a circle jerk, it just tells me about the entire platform. So I don't want to go in there. You guys can go ahead and let me know what happens. You can let me know, Akil, what happens, but I
Well, I'm
will
not
go
going in
ahead.
there. I have not been in there yet. I just want to be very,
No, but
very
I'm just
clear.
saying in general, I have no interest in going in there. Honestly speaking, and it's not because BitBoy is a brand ambassador for G Media, but I will say that I would have loved BitBoy to go ahead and be able to interview Sam.
He said he is.
No, he will be, and that's the one that I'm more interested in because I know that BitBoy won't be scared to ask those questions.
Well, I
BitBoy,
think
no matter what you think of BitBoy, he's going to ask because he's like he reminds me of the Joker when the Joker says, "You think I actually have a plan? I wouldn't even know what to do if I caught something," kind of thing, right? Like
yeah.
that's BitBoy. Like he is going to ask questions that we all want to go ahead and ask. So I will give him that.
But what I was going to say is BitBoy also put it out there that he wanted a private conversation.
Yeah.
And that's why I said
As it should be.
I'd rather somebody like that that's like, look, I don't even care about if we get press out of this. I want you to answer these fucking questions to the shit that because I understand that BitBoy did bring this to our attention before the 9th of November. He brought it to us several weeks ago. We talked to him about it. I think the part that sucks right now is that everybody and their mother truly believes they have an entitlement to this information. When I'm thinking BitBoy is the only person who I believe actually does have a right to know, considering he was in the room, he was working with Sam and others, and that he felt like he was betrayed. Like that is somebody that has a legit beef with Sam that would like his answer as answered. I'm sorry, his questions answered because he does. He's saying like, "Yo, you impacted me, motherfucker." Like this isn't just one part of the space. It's like, "Yo, we directly were working on something, and you willfully lied and deceived us. Why? Like, why would you deceive people you were supposed to be working with in partnership? Like, we all wasted our time." And for people who don't understand, time is money. And when you're building businesses, you are wasting money when you're sitting with somebody who would willfully lie to you. That is why I believe BitBoy has the right to get his answers answered. Most of y'all are asking questions and you want questions answered that nobody's actually going. And I'm not saying you, David. I'm saying most people are like, well, just tell us where all the money went. He ain't going to tell you that shit because then that's called self-incrimination. He ain't going to tell you. So he's just going to be like, I don't know. I'm not the CEO. I couldn't answer that question. So we need to start having real expectations of what he will answer as opposed to what you hyenas want answered. Because that's what most of us are. Hyenas. You see blood, you want to attack it. Most of y'all don't know anybody that lost a lot of money. Honestly, the people that I'm finding that are losing money are really novice. Have you not noticed that, Davis? David? I said Davis.
I mean,
They're just novice. They're true novices. They were like, they knew nothing, and they got wrecked because they saw a bunch of really influential people involved in these projects.
here's
Different
my
world.
thing about people who have lost money in the United States of America by trading on FTX's platform. You aren't entitled to get any money back. I want to just break down this entire situation. For anybody who went around the system to get onto his platform, the FTX International platform, you're not entitled to any money back. Yeah, Leo, that's the truth. You're not entitled to any money back. You know why? And I'm gonna explain to why. I'm giving you harsh reality. Okay, here's the reality. You're not entitled to money back because U.S. citizens were not allowed to be on that platform. So if you went and illegally got on to FTX International, you have no case of getting your money back. I'm just giving you harsh reality. You have no say, you have no case when it comes to getting any money back. If you have money on FTX.us and you are legally allowed to go ahead and use the platform, because some states don't allow you to use a US platform, like Binance still has trouble with that, example in New York. Again, you're not entitled to that money because you used a VPN in order, and you probably used fake documents for the KYC to get onto the platform. So let's get that out the way. So anybody complaining, that's on you. I want to, you know what the real question was? The guy who said he's lost $2 million with FTX, were you from the United States of America? Because if you were, you could consider that money gone because you were illegally using that platform, knowing that FTX put out a statement, just like Binance and other exchanges, to not allow US citizens onto the platform. That's it. It's that simple. There's no argument. There is absolutely no argument. Sam knew exactly what he was doing and what his position was within the company. The reason why he knew that is because he stated that as a CEO, I needed to build up my company. I needed to show this nice image of the company because everybody else does it. He stated that yesterday. Everybody else does it. The two car, the two new car giveaways. He mentioned something about giving away cars. Everybody does it, and nobody actually gets the car.
Well, I think he's talking
I
about
didn't say that.
so
No,
so
no, the
so the,
promotions, the
yeah, yeah,
marketing, the
but
promotions.
so what? But he put it all under the auspice of marketing. He even said, "Oh yeah, he's like he was talking about like giving money back to people, doing good in the world, things that like people like me are like, cool, man, I'm for that. But then when you lied about it, that's like a charity that does not give money back to the charities that it's supposed to. It rather spends the money on itself. That means he intentionally and willfully tried to defraud people. David, that is a statement that he can't walk back. That is something that is provable, that he admits to, and that is an illegal act. If anybody was harmed by that act, they then can say, I invested in FTX on the basis of X, Y, and Z, and he willfully and with malice tried to make that not happen. He knew it wasn't going to happen. So now that we know this, that's why I'm saying everyone's like, oh, he didn't answer my questions. I'm like, yo, fuck your questions. What is provable in court? That's what you have to focus on here, folks. What can they prove? And that is an important part
Him
of it.
marketing is not gonna really do anything
Well, that's
because
not
every
marketing
company,
though. No, David, that's
no,
not
but
marketing.
he said he didn't say him.
No, he
Every
did.
company markets. Hold on,
No,
let me just get to it. Go
he's
ahead.
the CEO. He did that's an illegal act. It's not marketing. He tried to say that charitable giving was the equation of marketing, like giving away a car. That is not the same.
It is marketing.
No, charitable giving is not marketing. That
Do
is
you know how many people come out and say, I gave to this charity? It's a marketing. So like you don't
David, if
even
they
have to
didn't
say
give to charity,
marketing.
David, what I'm trying to listen to my words.
You're not letting
That
me
is
finish.
not
So
considered
how do you know
marketing.
what I was saying if you're not listening to me at all? You're just waiting to say something.
No,
I listen
David.
to you. Do
David,
the
you
same
did
thing with
listen.
me.
That's the point. You want all
I
right.
did.
No,
We're
I
not
just told you
agreeing.
that's not
I'm
marketing
not
though.
agreeing with you. That's the difference. I don't
No,
agree
David,
with
I'm
you,
saying that's
so
not
you're taking it as I'm
marketing.
not listening.
That is a why is it so hard for you just to understand for 30
Why
seconds
understand?
that
Because
him
I do
saying
marketing
that
and
is no
branding.
longer marketing?
I do marketing and branding. That's why I understand what when people say that they have donated to a charity, they don't have to say it's for marketing reasons. They're just doing it to put it out there to look good. And people who love charity will say, wow, this company really does things for
But if
charity.
you
Look,
don't,
they've donated to the Cancer Society,
but
they've
David,
donated to the Alzheimer's Society. Like they've donated
so
everywhere.
listen
I'm
to
going to
the
go
end
ahead
of
and
the
use this
statement I just
platform.
made then. If he never gave the money to charity, he was
He
intentionally
did.
trying. No, he said he didn't.
No, no, no. He talked
He
about
said I was
a
he's like my
totally
intent
different
wasn't to,
subject.
you know what? You know what?
He talked about a totally different subject.
Sure, man. Sure.
No, but
That's
that's
why
what he
you
was
don't
talking about, a
you
totally different
that's why
subject.
you think he should be asking harder hitting questions. So sure.
Yeah, the question should have been harder.
No, David, you are going to only ask what you can get out of him. Most of you don't even recognize, like, yo, he is not dumb. He might be a fucking jackass. He might be a fool, but he ain't stupid. He ain't walking around like no clue. And that means he's only going to answer what he feels like he can or that he needs to, that he's been coached on. Because you pointed out early on. What I'm saying is that when you defraud people, when you intentionally make statements with like if you go to a senior citizen home and you tell the senior citizens, hey, I'm going to take your money, I'm going to put it in this investment account and you're going to get 10% return, and you never do it, fraud. If you do the same for a charity, also fraud. That's where I'm at. Like he's done this as a method of fraud.
When he went out there and talked about stopping pandemics and put this whole narrative around giving away his money and donating to charities, because I'm sure he did, like most companies, when you do these kind of things, you attract people, good hearted people, that will look and say, wow, you know what? I should go ahead and give this company a chance. And they built Sam into being this guy that is so giving, that is so about saving the planet, that is about making sure that we don't get hit with another pandemic, that everybody felt for it. He has been trained by two experts, his mom and his dad, two people that trained him really well. And they
I
are,
don't know how
I am
convincing that is.
guaranteeing you, he is going out there
I don't think that's
against real lawyers' wishes. He
so
is
his
going
parents.
out there. No, his parents, no. His parents,
So
this is where I
David,
was
that's
getting
why
at.
I keep telling you.
His
You keep saying
parents,
no lawyer would say that. His mother is a lawyer.
I'll wait until you let me go ahead and finish.
No, you've been going on, and I just said you said that no lawyer would let him do this. His what? His parents are lawyers.
So
So
I guess
who's
you didn't. I guess you didn't hear the beginning of this
you said
entire
they trained
conversation.
him.
Then
You said they trained him.
I guess you didn't hear the. I guess you chose not to listen to the first 15 minutes of this conversation because they
I don't even
are
know what you're going on
allowing
about now.
him.
All right, go
They are
ahead.
allowing him
Go
to
ahead.
go
No.
out there. They are allowing him to go out there and speak his mind because they have literally trained him psychologically as well on how to behave and how to have people show pity for him. That's exactly what I'm saying. A real lawyer, though, that has nothing to do with SBF would never allow his client to go out there and speak to anybody at this current time. That's why I keep saying this is bigger than what it looks like. The Kevin O'Learys are involved in this. There is no way a Kevin O'Leary who has millions upon millions of dollars is going to sit there and continue to protect them. Kevin O'Leary tried to raise $8 billion to go ahead and fix the hole. Why would he do that? During November 7 and 8, it was Kevin O'Leary trying to help him raise $8 billion, not the other VCs. It's deeper. Where's Gary? How about where's Gary? Gary's not around. I think yo, the more that Sam speaks, I'll tell you this, the more that Sam speaks, the more it just confirms everything that I stated when this first happened. Everybody wants to use the hey, when I was using that Trojan horse line, everybody was pushing me to the side. Now y'all are all using the Trojan horse line. I ain't hear nobody using Trojan horse. This was necessary. This eventually this was going to happen. I just again, I go back to it. I don't think that they felt or they knew it would happen this fast. CZ set it off. The questioning yesterday, his demeanor, him sitting there, that shit is all an act. That shit is completely all an act. His legs shaking, his arms shaking, all that stuff, that's an act. That's an act. Because if you look at his previous interviews, if you've ever seen any of his other interviews, he's never shaking that way. And I know people can say, well, he's under distress. A lot of things are happening. But I've never seen him. If you look at most of his videos, he's not shaking. He's not shaking the way he's shaking during these conversations. He wasn't even shaking like this when he was talking to Eric Voorhees one on one of his last interviews before FTX fell apart. It is 10:53 a.m. on the east, 7:53 on the west. This is the breakdown, episode 98. Sponsored by Expector, sponsored by Unstoppable Domains. G Media is powering. I really hit my tooth hard yesterday. It is powered by Gokhshtein Media. My name is David Gokhshtein alongside Akil Patterson. Akil Patterson does not want to listen to me for the last few days. He just wants to go ahead and call me the Spin Master. 2 ears, 1 mouth. 2 ears, 1 mouth. It's what I do. I listen and then I go ahead and give my feedback. I don't pretend to listen and then just wait for my turn to go. I'm sure we will touch on Elon Musk also in this conversation because I'm sure Elon Musk was somehow a part of FTX. I'm sure Elon Musk was the reason why FTX went down. Keel Patterson will explain that to us. By the way, congratulations, Elon and Tesla. The first trucks have now gone out. 500-mile distance. 83,000-pound Tuckapole. I hope we get to sit down with SBF and really have a real conversation. I think George Stephanopoulos is having a conversation with him. I think it's today. So I can't wait to go ahead and see, or it might have already happened. I haven't even
Yeah, it's
watched
on
it.
Good Morning America.
I haven't watched it. I'll probably watch it right after this show to see exactly what went down. Because George will go ahead and hit with questions unless he is also paid off. But I'm sure that he's not. It's impossible for him to be unless fuck it, nothing's impossible. Fuck that. I ain't gonna say it.
It's out now. The
It
full
is.
interview. Yep.
So Monday, we'll go ahead and talk about it since obviously Monday through Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The breakdown comes to you with me and Akil as I try to go ahead and present a story while Akil tries to bash me every single second he gets. Just because he got a new microphone. And people can hear him. Ross McDonald says Akil is dialed in right now. He is playing Minesweeper on his laptop. Coffee.
I was actually listening to the interview, so that's why. So remember, I'm listening for what is not said. While you, yep.
You have hatred.
I have no hatred in my heart.
I
There's
don't.
either factual information or there isn't.
You will blame Elon Musk somehow for FTX going down. That's the difference between me and you. I have nothing personal. There's nothing
No,
personal
there's
with Elon.
nothing personal about this.
It
You
is.
you ignore information because it does not suit what you want to believe, and that's fine. But
You
that
present
doesn't
it.
change. No, David, you're not gonna keep gaslighting me, man.
But I'm asking you, can you
I
present it?
give you information. You're like, well, that's from mainstream media. I was like, all right, fine then. I gave you information, you didn't like it. So you're like, but I
Can
was
you
like, well, just
present it?
read through it. Dude, I've presented this before. And that's why I
No,
said
not to me. Fine, present it to the crowd. Forget about me. Can you present the information to the crowd?
I'll happily present it at some point. I mean, but so it's like most
What
of
do
the
you mean at
information
some
I
point?
create because I got to go back and spend time to put it together again for you. Like
Well, you never put nothing
I'm not one
together
of those
for
people that
me.
like, I'm gonna spend 20 minutes scrolling back through everything, but I said I'll find it again and I'll give it out. That's no problem. Like
But
I
if
said
you
that
know,
2 days ago.
it should be easy to pull up. If Elon Musk is this person that you claim him to be, it should be
Once
easy
again,
to pull up.
when I point out lies, you're like, "Well, he's trolling." I was like, "Well, hold on. What's the difference between a lie and a troll?"
Okay, so name one aspect where I said he's a
So
troll.
he told you about the population was declining. That is statistically inaccurate.
That's not exactly what he said, though.
He did. He said,
No, he didn't.
yeah, all right, fine. You know what? Because that's right, David. Because you ignore what the fact was is that he
No, but
did
I'm
say
reading
these
what he
things.
says. I'm reading what he
No,
says versus
when
what you're
he
saying.
says the population is in decline, and then he puts up all these charts that you guys are like, yeah, look at this, and I'm like, that's not true. I don't know where he's learning this from. That was like one of those things. Now
So
I
that's a
believe it was
lie?
a dog.
So hold on, he's putting up charts
So he's putting
that
up
are coming
charts that
from
are untrue. So untruthful
so that
information.
these are these
So
are these
okay,
are
so all
charts
right, so hold on. Let's let you
okay.
and then let's also go with okay, so remember that lie tweet that he put up saying that these things were really happening about the election. They're like, no, they're not. This is untrue. Then he quickly deletes it because he knows it's a lie, but he still was sharing that information. He
Can you
puts
show me the deleted tweet?
David, I'm telling you, you know what? Google the shit yourself at that point. All right. Here's what, because we're having a conversation. You make up stuff all the time. You're like, oh, it's facts. It's right there. It's like, you don't pull it up the tweet. So I'm not going to do it right now either. What I'm saying is he tells a false narrative and you're just going to go with it. That's like almost disheartening. It's like, well, wait a second. The guy is being a known liar. He literally said Apple's going to take us off their server. And it's like, no, they weren't. That was never the plan. Then clearly there's a tweet I shared with you where a woman goes, Apple consistently sends its clients these boilerplate emails that say, please continue monitoring this or you could potentially be removed. It is a boilerplate, which someone had shared. And then, no, that's not it. They're coming for Elon. They're going to take out him out. And I'm going to go buy an Elon phone. And then Apple's like, yo, we never had any intentions to do this. I don't know where it came from. And then he admits it. But then he's like, oh, I'm going to share the Twitter files. All right, share them. Oh, you don't want to share them now because it's no longer in his interest. So again, this motherfucker will lie to people just to get his way. Fine. If that's what you like people that lie to you, no problem. But I just want to make sure it's put out there that he is telling people inaccurate information. It is false. And therefore, he really should not be trusted. And now the same people are like, well, you were fine with it when they were doing it. No, I wasn't. I'm not fine with anybody lying to me. I'm okay with people not sharing with me information that I am not entitled to. There's a lot of people in these communities who think they're entitled to a lot of information they are not. I want to know what happened to SBF. I would rather know what happened to the people's money. I would like to know if he defrauded us. I don't care about SBF. I want to know about the people's information. Like the stuff that, what can we prove in court? Because listen, we are a country of laws and we are a country of standards. When you stop breaking down things into standards and laws, it's chaos. And what we have here is a bunch of now wild, out of control Twitter followers who think that Twitter is reality. Twitter is not reality. Twitter is a microcosm of what you believe because effectively they can control your algorithms. If you didn't know this before, like I see stuff, I take it all with a grain of salt. I take everything with a grain of salt until I can factually say, okay, this is supported. This is reasonable. Okay, here are the parallels. Here's the information that I'm coming in with and that I'm leaving with. A lot of people don't use information like that. Like I literally told you, David, I take historical moments and then I see if they are replicating themselves in our society. Here, they definitely are. Our society is finding the same pattern of behavior. Last time there was a guy named McCarthy that ran anything in the White House. There were a lot of trials about people that were like communists who may or may not have been, who were put to death and executed, all sorts of craziness. See the same thing happen now. Like, why are you trying this guy? Why are you worried about that? Like, do I think the Hunter Biden story should have been released? Absolutely. But you know what I also think? I remember the last time in 2016 when somebody released a story that really didn't come true. It ended up costing the person a lot of votes. So I can see why they were like, yeah, we're not just going to hold on to this until after the election. Happens. People make decisions inside of private companies as they always have. The problem is that there's a segment of our world who thinks they are entitled to information on one hand, and then on the other hand, they're like, "Well, you shouldn't have shared it." I'm like, "Wait a second. You can't have it both ways. Be consistent. Be consistent in your logic of thinking, and this way it will make sense. If you believe that everyone should share all information, then share away. But don't only share the information when it benefits you." I'm done. Just like you, when you take 20 minutes, I'm done now.
May I speak? I'm raising my hand. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Is it true or not true that Japan's population is now decreasing? And don't worry, I have university stats for you there, along with the government stats. Since you want to talk about it's not true, right? So Japan,
No,
just name in
I
one
didn't ask.
country.
No, you're not going to bring up Japan because he
Wh-
was talking about the
Hold
world's
on, hold on. I'm
population.
not allowed to bring up. Hold on, hold on. He said
He,
globally, so I'm going. I'm
yeah, he
going
said
globally
global
now.
world population, and it's only
Correct. So
increased.
I'm starting with one. I'm starting with one. I'm going to start with
No,
one
you're
country
going.
and
So
keep
you're
going.
picking and choosing out of your
No, 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 no.
information.
I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going.
All right,
I was waiting. I was waiting for this.
go ahead.
Japan,
I'm
is it
I'm
not?
listening.
Is their population not? It's been stated by the government themselves that their population is decreasing, and I'm not talking about slightly. It's on a fast pace. Is that true or not true?
This is your information, David. You go ahead and
It's not
continue
my
to share.
information. It's information that you can easily look up on Google if you wanted to.
And you could easily look it up information as well on Google, and you refuse to. So I'm saying
I
this is
did.
your moment.
I
Go
looked up
ahead.
your information about
Go ahead.
Elon being racist. I didn't get anything. I looked
Mhm.
up is Elon Musk a liar? All I had was people from Tesla whose cars broke down saying
David,
that they
David,
hate Elon. So
that's not
I
even
couldn't
what I
find.
pointed to. David, why do you do that? Like you're just gaslighting now, so nobody's gonna
There's no
engage in that.
gaslighting.
Just
The
go
word
ahead and get to your
you're
point.
using the word you're
Go
using the wrong
ahead,
word.
get to your
Gaslighting
no.
does
I'm
not
not
even
even David. That is literally
a
legitimately what
gaslight. Okay,
gaslighting is. So stop
so
acting
when you
like
said when you
you're.
say
Come on, man.
gaslighting means that somebody is a liar and they are literally making you feel bad or they're putting it on you. Like that's not you're not using the word effectively here. I'm not a
That's
gaslighter.
no gaslighting is
I think you would
manipulating.
no
No,
exactly. So you're
gaslighting is
calling me no.
no,
It's
it's
multiple
loosely
things.
defined as manipulating someone as to make
I
them
can read it
question
out to
their
you if
own
you like.
reality.
I
So
have it
all I'm
saved.
saying is, David, just get to
I
your
have it
point.
saved in my phone. I could go ahead and read down
Go
to
ahead,
you.
read the definition since you
Ready?
got it.
Here you
It's
go.
literally
Here
the
you go.
loosely definition of manipulating
Here you
someone to
go.
make them question
Here's
their
what
own reality.
gaslighting
The
actually
term
means.
derives from the British theater attire gaslight. The it's like it's literally written down. The term may also be used to describe a person as a gaslighter who presents false narratives to
Hold
another
on.
group or person,
Can I say it
thereby
or no?
leading them
You
into
asked me to
doubt their
explain it, right?
prescriptions
Are
and
you ready?
become misled, disordered, or distressed.
Are, are you
Oftentimes,
ready?
this is gaslighters often benefit.
Can I finish it?
No, I was giving the
No, no,
definition and
you
you were
you
cutting me
told
off,
me,
so
so
I'm
let me go
reading
ahead
it.
and say it.
No, no, you had an opportunity and you
Manipulating
didn't want to take it. So now
manipulating
you're like, "Oh, no, no. Let
someone,
me get my definition now because I want to put out
but
my narrative."
this is the real definition of it.
And I'm reading the real definition. You just
No,
told me
no,
it's not real. I'm reading the
this is
definition
literally from
from the
Oxford.
encyclopedia.
Oxford.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is from
reading the
Oxford.
encyclopedia.
This is from Oxford's dictionary. Ready?
Go ahead.
And we all know that Oxford is real,
Go
right?
ahead, David.
Unless they're
David,
also
go ahead. You just wanted to get me.
manipulating.
You're
You're saying that
gaslighting.
I
This is what
hold on.
gaslighting is.
Ready? You're
Legitimately,
saying,
David, this is what
can I
gaslighting
finish?
is.
Okay, since I could talk now. Manipulate someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. Gaslighting is a form of psychology manipulation in which an abuser attempts to sow self doubt and confusion into the victim's minds. Typically, gaslighters are seeking to gain power and control over the other person by distorting reality and forcing them to question their own judgment and intuition.
So
There's a better
tell me what
word
you're
that
not
you want to go ahead and use. There's
You
a
were
better word
gaslighting.
that you want to use.
You were gaslighting right
Not
there. You're
not I will
manipulating the
give yeah,
situation.
let me go ahead and give you examples of what gaslighting is
Go
then.
ahead. David,
I mean,
just get to the point. I don't know why we're still on this word because all I said was you want me to do
because
the work.
it's a
You
bad
didn't
word to
want to do
use.
the work. So I said just continue on. You talked about Japan. Go back to Japan.
Signs of gaslighting. They're insensitive to how you feel. They minimize your feelings
David,
by
I
saying
don't
you're being
care right
ridiculous
now.
or crazy. But
You know what?
you're
You
accusing
don't
me.
care. You really don't
No,
care. I keep
you are
asking you,
accusing
get
me.
to the point. Get to
No,
the
because
point.
I will not. I don't disrespect you, and I will
You
not let you
do.
go ahead. No,
You
I will
do
not let.
Oh, come on, bro.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not let you go ahead and call me a gaslighter, which is disrespectful. Okay, which I've never ever said anything to you. If you want to have a disagreement, that's fine. But to call somebody a gaslighter, that's disrespectful. It's the same way that you call Elon a liar, a racist, a bigot, and all that
He is
stuff.
a
Like you could do
liar.
that with
He
me.
is
You could do that
I
with
didn't
him.
call him a racist and stop saying that. So now you're
You could do that.
disrespecting me by literally saying
Oh, but
he
it's
is
tapes.
known to have
We
racist
ran back.
tendencies.
I will find it in the tapes where you
Go
said
ahead,
that.
pull it up. I keep telling you, go ahead.
But at
You
the end
keep
of the
saying it
day,
though. I keep
you
making the
can say that
same
about
comment.
him.
I,
You can
I
say that
said
about
that he has ties to racists. And anyone who has ties to racists, they either are racist themselves or it's either and or part, or they don't care about race at all.
you could say that about Trump. You could say about all these people that you don't like. You can
Once
have
again,
fun with
I'm
them.
very clear on my language. Stop trying to
But
make it something that's not.
but me to go ahead and just win an argument, you're not going to do that to me with the gaslighting or even
So
call
here's
me.
the point. Get to the point, David. You wanted
It's
to bring up
it's hard to
Japan.
get to a point. I'm gonna tell you why it's hard to get to a point because while somebody's getting to a point, you love to cut them off. And you've done
Bro,
that to me
I was
multiple
literally
times. And what
silent. I was
happens when you
on
cut
mute.
somebody off while they're going
You
ahead and
keep
have this?
dragging me back into it. I was giving you the floor to
That's what
talk.
I'm talking about. It's just an example. As I'm talking right now, you want to cut the person off. And the problem is when you cut somebody off, they lose their train of thought and now they have to restart. And it really sucks because you're onto something, you want to go ahead and tell somebody something, and they cut you off. And that's not winning an argument. That's just like you really don't win an argument that way. There is no argument. It just goes around in circles until somebody can finally, after 40 minutes, get the point across. You want to go ahead and present things that Elon Musk is a liar and all this stuff, which there's no factual evidence to it.
There is
Do it.
tons of factual
Do
evidence.
it.
I presented it to you. It's in his tweets.
Where
It's
is
in his
it?
statements.
You just called him
Where's
a
your
liar
shit,
two
man?
days.
You keep saying, you know what? Fuck it.
But
All right. All right.
you just called him a liar 2 days ago. 2 days ago. You called him a liar 2 days ago. 2 days ago, you said he's a liar. Today's the one that I heard today is like, he's a liar. I told you so. You didn't send me anything.
That's a lie.
So if that's your personal opinion about him, then let
Go
it
ahead.
be.
All right. Get to all your answers about population, but don't ask me any questions.
I won't. Because the population, it might have hit 8 million, but it should have been at 8.5 to 9. And it's proven by scientists. I'm going to go with a scientist over Elon or anybody else. I don't really care about Elon when it comes to that. When scientists go ahead and tell us that, like, yo, this shit is really happening, I'm going to listen. When Oxford University is coming out and saying, like, yo, like, this is a real thing, like, it's time to maybe listen. Now, if Elon is using, you can go ahead and say, well, Elon is using the narrative. He's using the narrative to go ahead and justify him and his procreation act here that he's doing while he's impregnating like 15 other women. Okay, you could go ahead and use that line. I'll agree with that. But you saying like, yo, that shit doesn't exist and he's a liar. I mean, that's where like that's personal. I think I'm gonna trust Oxford University. I think I will go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt. My life doesn't revolve around these people. That's the thing. My life definitely does not revolve around Elon Musk, Trump, any of Kanye West, Kyrie. It's just it's my job to report it, and that is it. Doesn't matter to me. After I log off, they are not in my head. I can care less. It is what it is. You say that Elon Musk is a part of the 1%. The 1% doesn't like Elon Musk.
Sure.
He could be technically a part of the
Sure.
1%, but they don't even like him.
Okay. If that's what
They
you
don't like.
believe.
You could definitely see that they don't like him because they're doing everything possible to get rid of Twitter.
Sure.
The 1% doesn't want Twitter. You think the 1% wants Twitter to become a place where people can actually see what is really happening in this world today? Hell no. They don't want. They don't want people to have conversations. They
I
liked
don't
it the better.
care.
They liked it when Twitter was freaking shadow banning people, not allowing people to go ahead and talk. That's what they like. The 1% doesn't want the 1% wants you to get the news from mainstream media. They do not want you to get the news from social media. That's why they're upset. So to say that Elon Musk is a part of the 1%, I don't know how the 1% actually feels about him right now, since the 1% owns every single media channel known to man.
They don't.
The 1% doesn't own the media channels?
Nope.
Who owns the media channels?
You said the 1% owns all the media channels. They don't. And that's
Who
because I just told you that they don't. His name is Byron Allen. Byron Allen is not a 1% of anything. So they don't own everything.
You want to further elaborate on who Byron Allen is and what he
Oh,
owns?
sure. Byron Allen is an African American male. He the GRIO awards, the Gyro. If I'm saying it wrong, please somebody smack me later. He's got about, I think he said, like 1,200 CBS or 1,100 CBS affiliates. Um, he has sued McDonald's. He has sued Comcast. He bought the Weather Channel. He becomes the first African American to own a 24-hour network. He's not a 1%er because he doesn't fall into the 1% category, but he's definitely a very he's a dope individual. And he started off as a comedian, got his first gig on Johnny Carson at the age of 17 or 18.
What media station does he own?
He runs Allen Media Group. It's almost like Sinclair Media. Do you remember Sinclair Media? The ones who, like you said, like they all the Sinclair Media affiliate stations replicated themselves. Byron Allen's group has a similar company. They have
So
uh
we're going to talk about sports right now,
what? That's not what I was talking about.
but that's what we will be talking about right now.
No, Byron Allen Media Broadcasting is more than sports.
Weather
He
Channel.
just he just happens to bring back. I just told you he's got a portfolio of like 1,100 companies
Who
or
owns
something like
Fox?
that.
Who owns Fox News?
An Australian,
Do you
Rupert
know his
Murdoch.
name?
Rupert Murdoch.
Perfect. Perfect. Is he a part of the 1%?
Rupert Murdoch? Oh, he's
Yeah.
more than a one percenter.
Perfect. CNN. Who owns that?
Just sold to some guy who's a Republican donor. I can't remember his name.
1%?
Yeah, because he bought it that way.
Okay. MSNBC. 1%?
Don't know. Don't know who owns it.
CBS, ABC.
CBS has a partnership with Byron's company, his affiliates. Affiliates are the ones that you get your local news from.
Did you see that video of the local news from all TV stations, which is an actual,
So
which is
that
an actual
again,
video?
David, that happened years ago. And that was when a lot of people like myself started to say there was definitely coordinated efforts. And that was from Sinclair Media, which I just brought up to you. This is why I say, do you even listen to me at times? Like you're like this. I'm like,
No,
yo, man, that's been
but you're
well
just
known.
saying something, but it has no basis right now in this conversation.
It
I asked
does.
you for
Sinclair Media has been doing that for years. The family is very well off. They're out of Baltimore, Maryland. So yeah, they have ties to the Kushner family as well. So Alex Smith, the grandson, he runs several high-profile restaurants all around the country: Houston, Dallas, Baltimore, DC. Great guy, by the way, too. Alex is pretty cool. Then you've got the old man, Patarakis. He's actually from the Patarakis family. Look me in the face. You all can look this up online. The Patarakis family made their money off of a bakery. It's called H&S Bakery out of South Baltimore. The Patarakis family, who also, oddly enough, have a relationship with Nancy Pelosi, but her name at the time was D'Alessandro, because her father and her brother were mayors of Baltimore. Anyway, so Nancy Pelosi, family with Patarakises. Patarakises make their money at H&S Bakery. They become the sole supplier of McDonald's on the East Coast. That's how they make their money. The Smith family, Patarakis family, Mary, boom. That's when you get Sinclair Media. So, yeah, very interesting on how that all comes to be.
That's why I say you would make a great politician.
I didn't. That's not politicians. That was just connecting the dots to everybody so they can see that.
The only time anybody watches the Weather Channel is when a hurricane's coming, and even the Weather Channel
So, are you
goes
trying to? Are
ahead
you trying to
and puts
belittle?
out.
Are you trying to belittle him?
And the only time anybody goes ahead and watches the Weather Channel is when people are freaking out about a Category 3 hurricane that's about to hit Florida, Louisiana, or anything in the Gulf of Mexico.
He's
And
got
people are rushing
43
to the stores,
broadcasting cable television.
and people are hanging, and weather people are pretending that the wind gusts are 140 miles an hour. Meanwhile, you see an old man who's about 75 years old walking calmly to his vehicle and opening the door and closing it like nothing's happening. Even the Weather Channel can be deceiving. The way they amp everybody up, tell everybody that they gotta run to the stores, get your items in Costco and BJ's and Sam's Club. Even the Weather Channel can go ahead and tell you some bullshit. And half the time, when anybody reports on weather, They fucking tell you it's about to rain, like they did here in New York, and yet it is sunny as fuck with no clouds in sight. So the 1% that we're talking about, the mainstream media that actually go ahead and navigates the news and puts these theories into people's heads, those are the people that we're talking about, the 1% that do not like Elon, because if Elon gets his way and he actually grows and unlocks the potential of Twitter, social media will be where people come to get their news if they don't already do that now. Because the news that is being put out there now, as has been shown during this entire FTX debacle, is that they try to go ahead and paint SBF as a really nice boy who is trying to save us from a pandemic. But unbeknownst to them, people are now on Twitter witnessing and getting the real information, unlike what Fox, what CNN, MSNBC, and all these other networks are trying to go and press onto the people, not only in the United States of America, but globally. The BBCs, the Sky News, all of these media networks are trying to go ahead and allow us to fit into a narrative and continue a narrative that they've had control of for decades upon decades. Even radio, before TV, they've had control of every single person on this goddamn planet.
Oh, okay.
That is now changed because of social media. And it will continue to change if Elon is serious about opening the dialogue here for all for all to go ahead and have a voice.
He's
And
not,
that
bro.
is
That's not
he
backed
is.
by any scientific fact.
I, nobody's long
Nobody,
nobody's going
nobody
to give
backed
that.
by no facts whatsoever. Just opinion.
It's not an opinion.
That is an opinion. That's your opinion. That's his opinion. That's not real by facts. That's just an opinion.
There has been more users that have signed up to Twitter since Elon has taken over.
If that's what you believe, I don't know how that data can be proven, considering we've got more bots than ever at this time. So I don't know, and then
Yesterday,
your rebuttal is going to be, well, you got to give them time. Okay, I'll give them time,
well,
but you
well,
can't say
I
one's
mean,
true and the other one's not.
so let me ask you a question. When do you expect Elon to make all these changes?
I didn't
Since
say
wait,
anything about that. Don't
okay,
ask me a question that I can't give an answer to. I just said you can't say that he's got more than ever, but that he's got more people on Twitter than ever, but yet there's more bots than ever. It's like I don't know what is the truth, and I'll just wait.
can, can I ask you
I
this
don't have an
question?
opinion. I'm just saying you can't tell me one's true and the other one's not. That's
If
it.
you were running Twitter, what would you do? Would you let back on the
I
people
don't
that he's
know.
letting back on?
I don't run Twitter. It's his private company. He can do whatever he pleases.
No,
I
but I'm
simply
asking
am
you.
pointing out that if you are saying that he's fixing things and it's like, well, it's gotten worse, I don't know. Like he says there's more, but I was like, but there's also more bots. So I don't know what to be true. And then last night he said, we're gonna get rid of these bots. Okay, cool. That was
So
fine.
if you were running Twitter, hypothetically speaking,
I don't run it, and I'm not a dev, so I don't know what to tell you. Because remember, only
but if you
engineers can work at Twitter. Twitter.
but if you were hypothetically the CEO of Twitter, would you how much time would you need to go ahead and turn around the current platform if you would have bought it for $44 billion? How much time do you think people should give you in order to go ahead and turn it around? Would you think 2 weeks, 12 months, 5 days? I'm just trying to understand the way you're
I
looking
didn't
at
say
everything.
anything. I merely meant I said what I said. You cannot say that we should give him time on one hand, but then on the other hand saying, well, he's doing more than anyone else has ever done before. And I'm like, I don't know this to be true. So I'll just continue to wait. You're asking
So
me a
what's
question that it cannot be answered by a reasonable
no,
person.
but I'm moving away from him and I'm asking you if you were the CEO of Twitter, How
I
much
don't know
time
how
would it
long
take
this would
you?
take. I'm saying I don't know, and I would
Okay.
not be telling people that kind of stuff because I don't know how long it takes.
So you're offended that he comes out to the general public and gives them an update and is trying to be transparent about what he's doing with the platform?
Again,
I'm
you
lost.
keep calling it transparency. I keep telling you that I believe that he is full of shit because each time he comes out, it just doesn't match up. It's not rational behavior. It's kind of irrational. He makes up things as he goes along. It is what it is. I'm not going back and forth all day about this. It's his company. He can do as he please, 100%. Hopefully he figures it out. That's it.
Wouldn't you want him to figure it out?
Absolutely. I'd love for him to figure it out. But I don't think causing mass hysteria and that's what he potentially does in a lot of cases is the way to go about it. But hey, that's just me. I'm it's his company. Whatever.
What hysteria has he caused though?
Sure.
No, I'm saying what has he caused? I haven't
No,
seen it.
David, why don't you answer that question yourself? Think about what kind of hysteria he caused.
I don't know. He said that I'm
I
going
don't know.
to
Why don't
bring
you
back
ask
people.
yourself what kind of hysteria
Okay,
Elon Musk may have caused?
I'm telling you. He
If
said
you
that he's
can't
gonna
answer
allow.
that question, then I can't
I'm
answer it
trying
for you.
to. He said that he's going to allow people to get back onto the
Nope. Go
platform.
back further. Go back further. I think we can go back further than that. And he's caused hysteria before. That's his MO, right? So this has nothing to do with him talking about platform or
Is
anything.
it
It's
the firing people that didn't do anything for Twitter?
okay, so there you go. So he fires a bunch of people. Okay, what's
Okay.
next? Oh, and by the
So
way,
what's wrong?
the country that everybody was talking about, David, it was Ireland. The Ireland, that's where he was having to go with the union issue.
Okay, but he fired people because there was an
No, no, no.
excess amount of people.
I don't want your rationale because
No,
that's
but
what
I'm at.
that's no, but
No,
I don't
but
need
so
it.
what's
I
so
didn't
wrong?
ask you for the rationale. You're
So
giving a rationale.
why
That's
aren't
not
you live
me.
it at? But why aren't you live it at Mark Zuckerberg then?
Nobody I just said I didn't need the rationale. He puts it
If it's
out
not
there.
rational, I'm asking
No,
you. Like,
David, what is so hard for you to understand when I say he causes his own hysteria? Mark Zuckerberg, they had massive layoffs and they put out a press release. He goes on Twitter and he's arguing with people who just lost their jobs. What? That's weird. But
who
it's
is he
his
arguing
company. He
with?
can do whatever he wants.
Who is he arguing with? I didn't see him arguing with people.
You know what? You should go back and look then because he was. He was calling them out. He was telling
I didn't know
people
that
they're
Stephen King was
worthless. You know
employed
what?
by
David,
Twitter.
I don't care. I don't fucking care anymore. I really don't. I really don't. So we can you again, you don't like that I have given information and you just don't like to see it in front of you. That's fine. We can move on. Like that's what I keep saying. Like just move
You
on.
know what I don't like? I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like this is what I don't like. And it goes for anybody. I don't really care if I like them, dislike them. When you go ahead and just because you say you have all these facts, right? Yet I haven't seen them. Okay, so I'm going to
Sure.
say that from my side, I haven't seen them.
Okay.
So
So you
you have
didn't
all
see
these
it.
facts.
I saw it, and I'm just telling you. So we both are
Okay.
saying, "Hey, I
So
didn't see it. I did." We move on.
so you saw him, I didn't see him, and when I asked, well, let me see him, well, you saw him. So it's like I'm confused from that standpoint. But whether or not I dislike somebody or not, one thing I won't do unless I have evidence, I will not shit on their name. And
Sure.
that's where I think that's the
Hold on,
problem
hold on.
that
Hold on.
when
You
you
don't
have
have half
when it
the
comes
evidence
to
on Sam Bankman-Fried, and you are.
I
You
think
don't have
I
half the
think
evidence.
I think I think he's the wrong argument because I think if you don't agree with me on that subject, then this is
I didn't.
just
All
more
I
so
said
you just
was you
disagree.
do it without half the evidence.
I what do you mean half the evidence? I've literally stated everything that has come out has come out. I think I've done a pretty good job with on Sam. I think I've done a really pretty good. I would say I would done a pretty good job with reporting on Sam. And if you want to say that people have been reporting on SBF and not providing evidence, I think you'd be looking at Mario. And my name is not Mario. My name is DG. And DG is not trying to cause hysteria on social media. Okay. I am reporting every 5 minutes that, SBF took a shit and he went ahead and texted Caroline. My thing is, I am not going to dump on people unless there's factual evidence. of something. Elon Musk, I can't agree with you when you call him a liar and you call him a bigot, racist. I'll go ahead and see if that was on play here. Okay? But if it is, I'll put it up and then you go ahead and say, well, either my bad or I say my bad and that's it. But that honestly, you just dislike the person, but that doesn't mean discredit them. They have achieved things.
Look,
They have
nobody's
achieved
going
things in
off
their
of what
life.
he's done. Look, I keep telling you, I don't care what he does as a profession for his job, but the way he has treated his past employees, uh, okay. The way he treats some of his employees is it's distasteful. So
All right, guys. 11:34 a.m. on the East, 8:34 on the West. This was the breakdown, episode 93. Excuse me, 93, 98. Um, Sponsored by Expector, sponsored by Unstoppable Domains, powered by Gokhshtein Media. Uh, Want to thank everybody that joined in today as we discuss SBF and obviously Elon. Monday, we will be back for episode 99, and then Tuesday is episode 100. And we'll probably be talking about Elon and SBF and whatever else is in the news.
I will not
One
be.
thing again,
I'm not talking about him anymore. This is ridiculous. But
I will be
seriously,
talking about
we could talk about
Elon's
20 other
achievements.
things. Huh?
I will be talking about Elon's impressive achievements
Sure.
and the way
Bend,
that he has
bend the knee.
made Twitter into the platform to go to.
Whatever.
And Akil will be using Twitter that is owned by Elon to go ahead and complain on.
I was here first.
What do you? That doesn't
I was
even
here
make
first.
sense. That makes no
I
sense.
was
All
here
right,
first.
whatever. Oh boy, that doesn't make sense. Anyway,
Why doesn't it
again,
make
thank you
sense?
very
Hold on. So if I'm going to say this is an old Strom Thurmond quote, and it sucks that I have to use a Strom Thurmond quote, but maybe you folks might understand it a little bit better. Strom Thurmond said it's like an old house. At some point, a new family will move in, and they're gonna move your ass to the basement. But you were there first, so oftentimes you just get comfortable in the basement. That's what happened here. I might
If
be in the
you feel
minority, but I'm not going to
if
stop
I,
speaking up against hate, injustice, deficiency, the way that Elon Musk has lied about transgender children, the way he has gone on about being disruptive in our communities, how he's put up false political information to suit his own needs, how he has gone after, like he literally lied on Apple saying that they were going to do something that they didn't, which he did. Like, that's what I'm saying, David. It's ridiculous. Like, why are we having a conversation about a man who he does lie? It's known that he's lied. He lied to get a bail. Like, it is what it is. But you can't keep defending somebody who does these acts and thinking, well, he's helping me, so I'm going to make whatever. He can help Twitter all he wants, but it still doesn't change that he's lied to get there. Right? Is what it is. You're okay with his lies, and I'm okay with that.
Shout outs to Elon Musk. Keep doing your thing, man. Don't let anybody go ahead and take you down. We need you, bro. And on that note, I go ahead and, by the way, guys, have a blessed day, a blessed weekend. Let's motherfucking go green in this market because we deserve it. And let's go ahead and make sure that we always protect the right for us to always have an opinion out here. Hopefully, we just don't cross the line with it. And on that note, I pass the mic to Akil Patterson. Akil Patterson, go ahead and take it away for the people.
Thank you all very much for joining us today. What we talked about, God only knows. But guess what? We still love each other. Have a great day and an even better tomorrow.